Welcome to Student Engagement in Standards-Based Learning, Section 2, QFL Process Skills in Standards. You have just taken some time to navigate the standards and study information about content and process standards. Next, we will examine how the QFL process skills represent a common thread in standards. Please turn to page 47 in your participant manual, QFL Process Skills in Standards, where you will find the directions for our next activity. Please also remove the laminated QFL Process Skills card from your course folder. You have been introduced to the QFL Process Skills. For some of you, the questions for life will be familiar. If you took basic, we use questions for life to ask questions when planning interventions. If you took collaborative inquiry, we plan collaborative inquiry experiences across all three levels of understanding by using the questions for life thinking skills. In this course, we will use questions for life as the process skills found in standards across various content areas and grade levels. You will find many of the QFL process skills, like analysis or same different in the standards, you use on a daily basis. However, the QFL process skills listed on your card and the corresponding keywords are not a comprehensive list. These represent the most frequently used process skills and keywords. Depending on the standards you use, you will find additional process skills and keywords in the standards that do not appear on the laminated QFL process skills card. Next, you will have an opportunity to examine the process words in standards and correlate them to the QFL process skills. Please go to Canvas Modules Section 2, QFL Process Skills in Reading and Mathematics Standards. If you have the reading standards, turn to page 48 and 49. If you have math standards, turn to pages 50 and 51. Notice the bolded italicized process words in the standards on pages 48 or 50 that match the words in the first column of the table on pages 49 or 51. Work as a subgroup and discuss which QFL process skill aligns to each of the process words in the standards. Refer to the keywords on the laminated QFL process skills card and be sure to consider the intent of the standard. Record the QFL process skill in the second column on pages 49 or 51. The first one is completed for you as an example. If the process word in the standard does not appear on the laminated QFL process skills card, predict where on the graphic organizer the process word would reside. Again, please go to Canvas Modules Section 2, QFL Process Skills in Reading and Mathematics Standards discussion area for your group members in the activity directions. If you have standards, turn to pages 48 and 49. If you have math standards, again, turn to pages 50 and 51. Here is the first example from pages 49 and or 51. Please pause the narration until you complete this activity with your group members. Some of these process words, like analyze and summarize, have a direct correlation to the QFL process skills. Other words are not as clear. You can expand the capabilities of the QFL process skills to align to the standards you use on a daily basis by adding additional keywords to the graphic organizer. Which correlations did you have a question about? Please let your instructor know if you have any questions. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Please pause the narration so you can review the connections. Remember, as you have experienced in this activity, the process words and standards connect to the QFL process skills. These process skills can be a common language among disciplines and among the various standards we work with. It is the process skills that deepen understanding and allow for transfer of learning across disciplines. We want our students to know and understand content. We also want them to be able to process the content in a variety of disciplines for a variety of purposes. This concludes QFL process skills in standards. Please continue to modules section 2 standards like me or not like me.